everyone, my name is Heather. Thank you for being here. Today I am already starting to get my summer reading list together, and I asked some middle school students of mine for some book recommendations that they thought I should read from our school library over the summer. So here's what they said. Number one, in no particular order, is the Warriors series, at least book one, they said. Warriors is a really familiar tale to any middle school reader probably, and actually probably like 4th and 5th grade too. It's about a bunch of cats who have clans, and I think they have to battle one another. And I guess I should say with this video, these are books I have not yet read. These are books that have been in my library for a long time that I know students like. And so I have a familiarity with them, but I don't have, in-depth familiarity with them. So today's video is just going to be about me telling you what my students said about these books, and then giving any little tidbits that I have or expectations or predictions that I have with these books too. So 2 6th grade boys recommended Warriors to me. This is by Aaron Hunter, and this book series has probably, gosh, I don't know, 50 books, 50 books in this series. So what the student told me today, one of the 6th grade boys, he said, this is a great book to get kids hooked on reading. And then the other boy who was standing right next to him said, yeah, and there are cats. So I think that sums it up. This book has been so influential that even when I taught 7th grade English, I would see students writing like Warriors fan fiction basically, and so it stays with them a long time. I think it's also exciting because it's probably a bit of an older read if you're a 4th grader, and so that those kind of books become near and dear to you, the ones that really suck you in and really make you fall in love with reading, and that can happen really early on. So a lot of the 6th graders who come in love the Warriors series, and every fall I make sure to feature them, you know, on our limited room of limited shelf space, because students are excited to see books that they know and love on the shelves, and they're also really excited to recommend them to their peers who come in from other schools who haven't read them yet. So this is book number 1, Warriors by Aaron Hunter. The next book that students recommended to me today to read over summer break is The Wild Robot. Such a great cover. All I know is that a 7th grade student who's now an 8th grade student recommended this to me and keeps recommending it to me, and she likes to read, but she's a slow reader, and I think would also consider her to be, I would considered her also to be a hesitant reader, but she loves this book, and so anytime a reader like that recommends a book to me, I try to read it. I didn't get to it last year when she recommended it to me, so I'll make time this year before too much more time passes to get The Wild Robot in my reading experience. Okay, the next book that middle school students recommended to me to read for summer break is The Simple Art of Flying. Look at this cover. I hope that this is in focus for you, because this cover is one of those covers that just draws you into it. One of the parent volunteers in my library today and I were looking at this book while the student was recommending it to us, and we thought, oh, this kind of looks like a Kate DiCamillo book cover, but it's not. It's by Corey Leonardo, and I don't know anything about this book except for what my 7th grade student told me, and she said it's very sweet, and she's a very sweet student, so for her to say that I think speaks volumes for how probably lovely it is. The Simple Art of Flying, I don't know. It's featuring 2 birds on top of books, and should I read the back cover? Let's see. The glowing box has told Fritz that African greys can be vain, suspicious, and opinionated. Greys can have irrational phobias, we hold grudges, and when raised apart from our bird parents, we tend to think of ourselves as human instead of embracing our identity as birds. It's part of our biology, Aggie says plainly. It's science. I'd say it's pretty clear we can't trust this thing. So, based off the back cover, it seems like that's an excerpt from the book. I'm guessing motifs of identity, perhaps motif of family. Yeah, okay, I'm here for it. I'm gonna read it this summer. The next book that middle school students recommended to me to read over the summer is Wonder I surprisingly have not read this book yet. I also haven't watched the TV show. The shirt I'm wearing today says the book was better. So before I get lured into watching the TV show, or was it a movie? I don't know. I think it's a movie. I think I should read this book. From what I understand of this book, there's a boy who has an unusual physical appearance, and he kind of goes to school and goes through life with this. Some kids, I think, make fun of him, and some kids become his friends. And again, this is just me telling you what I think I know from this book, from being around middle school students and that culture, and that genre. So I think it has a lot to do with like accepting yourself, accepting others, empathy. The 7th grade student who recommended it to me today said it's just a wonderful book that everyone should read. So she gave it to me to read over the summertime. The last book that a student recommended to me to read over summer break is The Midnight Children by Dan Gemeinhart. This is a particularly fun book. I was going to say special, but this is a particularly fun book for us at our school because Dan, the author, visited our school last year, and we all read Coyote Sunrise, The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise, and then this book came out, I think after that, like 2023? Oh, 2022. So it was published then, and I think, was it 2022 when he was supposed to come? This was the book that came out after he visited our school, or kind of concurrently. So we were excited to have this and have him speak to us and learn a little bit about who he is. He was very nice. And the student that recommended this to me is an 8th grader, and she said she appreciated the fantasy element of this book. So I'm excited to read what this is all about, especially having met Dan and having had him come to our school and chat with our students. And I'm pretty sure the visit last year encouraged my 8th grader who recommended this to me to read it. Okay, so those are the 5 books that my middle school students have recommended to me to read over the summer. I'm sure that I'll read more, but I wanted to just share those with you today while it was fresh in my mind for reasons why they love them. Because again, anytime a student is excited about reading and wants to share with me about a book that they have experienced joy from or they got meaning out of, I also want to support that and enjoy it with them. So the last bonus book for the day is this Explorer Academy. This is National Geographic Society, I think. Yeah, it was, I guess, published by the National Geographic Society. I don't really know, but we have 2 copies of this on our shelf, and I picked it up the other day just to have a book while some students were in the library reading, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's got illustrations inside. Like, look at this first one. This is on page 4. Let's see, I'll show you. This is on page 10. There's an illustration. I don't think my camera's going to pick up the focus too well. But it's about this boy who's accepted into a research program, I'm pretty sure, in Washington, D.C. He lives in Hawaii. He's trying to get one last surf in before he goes. And I think that something, like, weird is going to happen because he almost got attacked, or he did get attacked in the beginning by another scuba diver. So that's the inciting incident. And so he's attacked by the scuba diver. He gets away, but they were trying to pull him down. And mysteriously, his mother has also suffered a fatality, and he doesn't really know how that has happened. So I think there's some foul play afoot, and he's gonna figure it out. Also, I love this. I can't wait to get to this part, this butterfly image. So good. So it's unusual to have books at this age level illustrated, so I'm eager to see that because I like to see when books kind of break the norm and offer something new. And plus it takes place in Hawaii and Kauai, and I like to visit Kauai. So thanks for sticking with me. These books, I'll be sure to report back in with you after I've read them. I'm curious, what's on your summer reading list? And what books do you think that I should read in addition to these 6 books that my middle school students and I chose for me to read on my summer reading list? Comment down below. What books do you think I should read? What are you reading? Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye!